Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Halliday. I am the director and head teacher here at Riverbend Community School here in Riverview, New Brunswick. So I'm here to talk to you about our 3 to 8 program, our grades 3 to 8 program. So for September of 2023, we have launched a K to 2 program, which we're very excited about. And that's new for me, that's different. I've always been in the middle school and elementary school space. When I first started Riverbend 10 years ago, I started just with middle school and I was doing that for 7 years. I had students stay with me for anywhere up to 4 years and then transition when they got into the high school years. And it was a beautiful experience. And then in 2020, the pandemic hit and I sold my old building and we moved over here to the Gunningsville School and I started with elementary school. And the reason I did that is because my daughter was with me and it was lockdown and all those things. And I fell in love with the elementary school years. And she was in grade 1 when the first year of COVID happened. And then we started over here when she was in grade 2. So her and some pals, we came here and I thought, oh my gosh, elementary school is where it's at. I loved it. So that's what I've been doing the last 3 years. And so I've got experience in the elementary school and middle school space. The way we run our program is basically we do something that's called blended, self-paced, mastery-based learning. And what that looks like is no matter what the subject is, math, language arts, social studies, science, students do what's called a game board. They hop onto their game board online. They also have it in a folder and they have devices. I film all the content. So there's no longer the days of a child coming in, sitting in a classroom and waiting for the teacher to start a lesson when they're in a bad mood, they've missed a class, they can't pay attention, they feel a little bit behind, or maybe if it was a standard grade 3 class or 4 class or 5 class or 6 class, they're behind grade level or they're above grade level. So what I do is I film all my lessons, almost all. There's some things I won't film. Those are things like novel studies, sharing books together, those things we don't film, as well as when it comes to our inquiry-based learning, I don't film those. Big time in math is where I do this. So what I do is I film, say it was a lesson on fractions or 2-digit addition. I film the lesson and it's only 5 minutes long. The students get together and watch the videos. They might watch them on their own. They might be sick at home and they can still watch these videos. They have their headphones on. They're paying close attention to my lesson, as well as while they're doing the lesson, they have to take what are called guided notes. Those guided notes are really for any students, even students with dysgraphia or students who are really young. They still take guided notes because all of the things they need to write are on a shared screen. It's really amazing. They're so proud of their guided notes at the end of a unit. So they always have their notes to look back on. They finish the video, they take their guided notes, and then they practice. They practice doing games. They might do a dice activity. They might do a station. They might do task cards. They might do something online. They practice in a way that feels good to them. They practice the skill of what they've learned from the content from me, from the video. It's not a bunch of kids sitting around like robots on an iPad. I swear that the video piece and for them to get the content is just 5 minutes of them getting in the content from me. Then they go have fun practicing the skill. And then when they're ready, they take what's called a mastery check. And that is just to see if they've mastered this small skill. It's so learner friendly. It's great for our neurodiverse kids and our kids who are above grade level. Because what it does is it chunks up learning into small, manageable, bite-sized pieces. How do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. So they take their mastery check. If they get 90% or higher, they're off to the next lesson. If they don't, that means they're still not quite mastering the content and we need to practice more. They might have a lesson from me. What it really does is it clones me. There's lots of information on the mastery-based learning approach, the modern classroom approach on my website. So go check out the videos that I have there. What it does is so I'm free during the class to circulate and to correct any misunderstandings and give feedback. And it's very, very active on my part. I'm not spending my time at the front of the classroom blabbing on, which I'm great at doing for too long. So what they do then is they take their mastery check and they move on. And it's I'll bring you over with me actually. So what they do is they move on from lesson to lesson after they've done a mastery check. So right here, for example, is our mastery check wall. I don't know if you can see here. But they go, so this student is in lesson 1 and they need now to move down into lesson 2, and they put their little cute Bitmoji head on lesson 2 when they're done each lesson. So it's very visual, it's very engaging, it's awesome. The other thing, so we do that primarily with our math and some of our language arts depending on the level of the students. Then we do inquiry-based learning, oh my gosh, and project-based learning. That is a life changer, a game changer in terms of student engagement. Traditional modes of teaching, they do projects. It's very different than project-based learning. Traditional modes of teaching basically is set on something we did when school was invented, which is it's a brick and mortar space where the teacher is the knower of all the information and the students have to come to school to get the information from the teacher. That is not the way anymore. What we want to be are the guide on the side that is guiding students through inquiry and good questioning. And that's what an inquiry-based model does. Again, lots of information on the website about this, but when it comes to our science and social studies, we want kids building their background knowledge, not by just taking in what I tell them or just reading from a worksheet or a textbook. We want them to be thinking about what it is we're really asking them to do, to learn, to understand. In order to really be engaged and assimilate all that information, they have to do, they have to touch, they have to see. And I will tell you, our struggling readers, even when they learn to read words, if they don't have a ton of background knowledge about the world around them, they do not understand what they read. You need to know things to understand things, okay? So that means that you need to be able to understand things from history by acting them out and asking good questions and doing some really deep research yourself and asking some really huge questions yourself. And these aren't questions that you can just get answers from Google, okay? Really great inquiry units and project-based learning units guide kids to ask questions that they need to work really hard to get the answers to. And they do that by having the teacher model these questioning strategies and these question styles. So what it does is it gets kids excited about the fact that the art, the math, the social studies, the science, the music, all the things they're doing relates to the real world, not just abstract things that don't connect to anything. We want to connect them to the community that they live in and the world around them. So this gets kids really hooked into their learning, and it also requires them to work together and problem solve, which is really important 21st century skills. We no longer just want kids to sit there and get information, sit and get like a little sponge, and then try and take a test and then forget everything they learned. That is not going to prepare your child for their life. That is not going to prepare your child to be excited about the world around them. That is not going to prepare your child for their future. So we want them to be a great citizen. So our program really helps prepare them to be a wonderful scholar, a wonderful thinker, a kid who can use technology, a kid who can work with others, a kid who questions things and doesn't just accept information for what it is because a grown-up told it to them. So our grade 3 to 8 program is so rigorous and so engaging, and we go from 8:20 until 3 p.m. And we have art, we have our specialties every day. So either art, music, gym, or art, music, gym, or drama. That's the other one, because Miss Karina, our wonderful, amazing inquiry-based teacher whom we've hired, is also a drama coach and had her own theater business. So she will be adding a drama element into what we're doing. How lucky are we? And then after they do their inquiry-based or their specialty, then they do their inquiry unit in the afternoon. She also has her outdoor education certification, so she'll be adding an outdoor education element into what we're doing. It's just an exciting time to be a Riverbender, let me tell you. In the day and age around here where kids are getting moved from overcrowded schools, there's classrooms with 40 kids. This program is not a program for students with learning disabilities. This is a general education program. We have robust academic expectations for all students. If your child does have a learning disability, this is a wonderful program for them as well. Because we have excellent accommodations, but we still have the same expectations that they will achieve the same things as their peers, just in a different way. In addition to that, our math program is all about showing kids that they can do math. So many kids are missing the foundations of their math skills because of COVID, because of the same thing that's been going on in reading. Reading has been taught poorly for 30 years. Okay, if your kid is using a balanced literacy approach right now at school with leveled readers and memorizing sight words, that means reading is being taught poorly in their classroom. Not here at Riverbend. We are using the science of reading throughout all our subjects. If your child is a struggling reader in the grade 3 to 8 cohort, which we hope that kids are readers by grade 3, that is not happening for so many kids. So they will get explicit direct instruction when it comes to reading as well, even if they are in grade 3 or higher. So that's a wonderful addition to our program. If your child is a reader, they do not do the science of reading structured literacy part. They just go ahead and keep doing the enrichment and extension projects around our inquiry units. What is there to lose? Nothing. So we have a few price points for our program that include just the actual basic program with no after school care. And then we have the after school care version as well, which is built in at a different price point. And a lot of it you can write off as well on your taxes. So in terms of what you get for your private school education and what I have been told by many people to charge, and I refuse to charge because I haven't raised my tuition in 10 years. I want this to be accessible to as many people as possible. So if you missed the open house, reach out, info@riverbendschool.ca, book a tour, send me a message on Instagram or Facebook. I'm here. I'm excited. This program is a game changer. It's a game changer for students who are just not enjoying their school experience. School should be amazing, and Riverbend is. Toot my own horn, I know it, but there's nothing like it in our community. So I invite you to come and see for yourself. Thanks. Bye.